Hva dust på norsk?
Støv? Det ikke alle som klarer å glemme sånne enkle ord, altså.
Hi, this is Ingrid and welcome to my winter bookland. Today I thought we would do like something I will continue to call flash reviews.
Jeg fant en snasen blåfarge.
Okay, so basically what I mean by...
Når faren din og Godtrud har snakket i en evighet om at jeg skulle begynne å flytte på masse stein og sånt, da skulle du begynne å filme. It's gonna be fun.
So basically what I mean by a flash review is that it's not going to be as long as a normal review probably would be, because simply I didn't find this book interesting enough to do a full review on, but I still want to like say my opinions on them, and
Beep, beep.
det kommer til å være en sånn lyd som bare kommer og så går, kommer og så går.
Hva var det jeg kalte det? Det var litt noe som kom nær der, og så kom det inn der. At livet var testet sammen, liksom. Ja, hva var det?
These reviews will be of books that I read recently and just really need to get out my opinion on. I will put the timestamps for each book here so you can actually go to the book you're most interested in hearing about. I will also leave the link to each book's Goodreads page down below in the description so you can go check them out for yourself. The first book that I finished like close to the filming of this video was Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Stormlight Archive series, and basically this is Brandon Sanderson's epic fantasy series. You follow these like 3-4 main characters as they go through this big war going on in the world. These books I would... So I think one of the main selling factors of this series is the fact that it's so philosophical. All of the characters go through these... Ja, ikke noe rart at kameraet står at kameraet er skjevt da! No character is fully right or wrong. You get a full exploration of the character and their ideologies and why those ideologies may be wrong. And I think the world building can be a little bit sudden, but but by the third book you kind of get it, what the big deal is. And it's also one of the few books that's actually made me cry, because I love all the characters here so goddamn much. And Sanderson has a way of making you engage with the character that's really unique and just plain lovely, if I say so myself.
If I may say so myself.
And like all the plot twists and all the plot points, I felt like they mended really well together, and yeah, I would recommend this series 100%. It is so well written. It may be a bit heavy on the language. It took me a bit of time to get through this actually. But once I did, I was so happy about it. It's really one of the best books I've ever read.
Thank you, Thomas, for recommending it.
Yes, shout out to my teacher for recommending this series to me. He also lent me the books, which was really kind of him, considering the fact that I shoved them in my backpack and carried them around with me everywhere, which meant that they had a really large risk of getting damaged.
Jeg har fått et hår inn på leggen.
Men for eksempel, de sier Maggie stivvater,
Stivfatt. Ja,
og det er jo stivfater.
Stiv. Ja, det er sant.
Det er jo det beste for på tysk. The next book is Unearthed by Megan Spooner and Amy Kaufman.
Kaufmann.
Kaufmann!
Kaufmann.
Det er så norsk, vet du! So basically Unearthed takes place in the future, and it is a sci-fi setting where Earth is basically destroyed, so humanity needs to find a new planet to live on. They have found this planet called... What was it called? They called it Gaia, which is the most unoriginal name ever, where creatures called the Undying have once lived. And basically there are looters and also historians trying to get into these temples of these undying creatures and trying to uncover their secrets and maybe also riches. This book follows two of those characters, one looter and one historian, who are trying to uncover the secrets of this planet, and they have to go through a myriad of traps to get to the truth. I DNF'd this book 50 pages in. I feel like all the world building was dumped into the first 50 pages. Slight spoiler alert here now. One of the characters, his name, like I've already forgotten his name. Jules is his name. Like, he has a secret that the explorer who discovered the planet was actually his dad, and now his dad is imprisoned and stuff like that. And it's revealed in the first 50 fucking pages. Like, you could have kept that plot twist a little bit longer, I think. But also, we have a obnoxious female lead syndrome here, where the female lead is like, he doesn't understand me, but I give no explanation for the way that I act. But he doesn't deserve the explanation, but he's still an ass because he doesn't know why I act the way that I do.
Oh.
And basically I stopped reading after the first trap they went through, because it's like, it was a bit creative, but it was still like pretty boring and stuff like that. And I felt like the two narrator voices were too blended together. Like, if you want to try it out, buy the Kindle version first, and then because it's cheaper, and then if you like it, buy the physical version. Like, I think it was more of a personal problem with me, because I decided that I hated the main character like 5 pages into the book. So just give it a try if you like sci-fi and you read previous works by both Kaufman and Spooner. The next book is Everless by Sarah Holland. And this book is set in a fantasy world where basically blood is money. So you can like bleed people dry because they haven't paid their rent and stuff like that. Det är lite shit. So basically the main character Jules, her father can't pay the rent. So she starts working at this place called Everless, where her childhood friend and designated witch boy Rowan lives. And but as she stays there, the queen of the country comes to visit, and she realizes that some things may not be as they seem. And of course we have a lovely love triangle shoved into it all. To be honest, the start of this book was so amazing. The plot setup, like, you knew there was going to be a plot twist, but it was handled very well throughout most of the book. You felt tension, you could actually feel sadness. Holland has a way of writing that makes you feel for the characters. But the plot twist was a bit disappointing. Quite honestly, it didn't live up to my expectations. A lot happened in those last pages that was a bit like, oh, okay, that happens and that happens. And slight spoiler here, Jules, you can literally stop time. Why do you let Rowan be killed? And you've saved Rowan from death before. You've literally turned back time to save Rowan before. And now you're just like, oop, I guess he's dead. But I'll say that the build-up for the plot twist is very well done. And even if you can tell that the plot twist is coming, even if you can tell what the plot twist is, I think the build-up totally makes up for it and makes it a great book. So, like, definitely give it a read. It's totally worth it. And then we come to my absolute favorite on this list. This one, a thing you should know about me is that I plan all my orders for books. So I know when to save up money for it and when to not. And this book was on my schedule to be bought one day after this filming happened. But suddenly it was unavailable at Book Depository. And like, I thought, oh, it's gonna be restocked, you know. And then it was restocked, and then it disappeared again. It was unavailable again. So therefore I just bought it once it got available again, because I didn't want it to disappear completely, because I wanted the physical version of this because it's a really pretty cover. And that is the book Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This book is about a guy named Alex, and he's the son of the first female president of the United States of America. He has a self-proclaimed rivalry. Okay. He has a self-proclaimed rivalry.
A self-proclaimed rivalry?
He has a self-proclaimed rivalry with the Prince of Wales, Henry. And this book is basically their love story. How they come to be, their interaction with each other and stuff like that. Basically it starts off with an incident between them that shakes kind of the political climate, so they have to pretend to be best friends to cover up this altercation. During this fake friendship, something more kind of happens between them as well. I adored this book so much. It is a really fun read. McQuiston makes the character engaging. She knows how to write a good plot, and like there was a plot twist in there that I like totally didn't see coming. The way she wrote the characters and the way they interacted, it seemed very natural, and her comedy as well was extremely... you can tell that she is a part of the millennial generation, or is very tightly tied to it, because like the humor in here was totally like my style. It was just a really fun read. And the last book I'm going to talk about is Half Bad by Sally Green. Note that this is the Norwegian version, and therefore I will never accept the language as good. Half Bad is a book set in a world where witches exist. You have white witches and black witches. Those are not descriptions of their skin color, even if there is a clear metaphor there. Very clear. Black witches are considered the dangerous witches, while the white witches are seen as like the good ones, and the ones that will always do right. This story revolves around a boy named Nathan, and he is half bad, as it says here. He is half white and half black. Through his eyes you can kind of see the struggles that come with this. It is very much a story about oppression and discrimination against Nathan because of his ancestry. It's about his journey to be free and basically get his own life back. Sorry if there's a slight jump in footage here. The memory card got full because my brother has refused to delete the videos he took, and I can't delete them myself because he might get mad at me. I really love the way Sally Green writes character. I get a real sense that you know who Nathan is through her writing. For example, she uses, like in his first few chapters where he is basically being dehumanized, he refers in the second person, so it feels like he's talking to himself and trying to remind himself that he's human and stuff, and I think that's a really well used... Hva virkemiddel på engelsk?
Literary device eller language feature?
Literary device.
Jeg sier language feature,
Ja.
for det er nytt å si literature.
Literature.
Literary device.
Ok.
Engelsklæreren stryk ut alle engelskkarakterer. Nope, dere får toer alle sammen.
I think she was able to use the language feature very well, and in a way that amplified the plot. The plot was a little bit choppy, but you know, it was still good. And also we have a character who's gay and it's actually not made a big deal out of. Wow! Like, who would have thought? And I think it's really great that Sally Green incorporates these elements into her book without question. I think it's also great how she makes Nathan out to be this character who just doesn't want to kill, regardless of if the person deserves it or not. Regardless of if the person actually deserves it or not. And I feel like that's such a great character point, and I can't wait to explore his character and the way it develops more. The plot is also really interesting. I'm really looking forward to reading more and figure out how it works. Just know that, yeah, Gabriel over Annalise any day. Gabriel for the win. So that was my flash reviews for these books. I hope you enjoyed watching my video and hearing about my opinions. And I'll have a video up this Friday as well, and I hope you watched that too. Thank you for watching my video. Leave a comment and a like, and subscribe if you want to. and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Hello boys. I found this metallic blue. It's something else. Har du masse lakris liggende på pulsen din?
Der. Ja, jeg liker ikke lakris, ser jeg ikke.
Herregud, amerikanerne har ikke ordet fræs.
De har ikke ordet fræs!